All this nonsense, homelessness, and all this other garbage y'all talk about, police violence and all this stuff, don't nobody care about that. Don't nobody real care about that. We care about our reparations. And we have to put white people on notice that we want our reparations. That our foreparents and us, we didn't work for free and underpaid and all this nonsense, and the white folks get away with it. And they talk about the great city they're building. No, we want our reparations. $3 million per person. $3 million per person right here in this city. That's the only thing black people got to care about. All this other little nonsense y'all talk about, we do not care about.
What is up, good people of the blogosphere? It's Coffee, tapping back in with another one. Take that quick moment for me and hit that like, the subscribe. As over here on the J Coffee Talk platform, we coffee talk it up and debate and just speak on everything from news to music to sports, whatever. You know, that's what we do, is coffee talk it up. So hit them buttons, but more importantly, hit the comments and let's talk it up. You know, I'm just scrolling through the timeline and come across this video. This is in Tampa, Florida, at like a city hall event, you know, where citizens can pull up and, you know, share their thoughts on certain things or going on within the city and the community, or ask questions, etc. You know, and this man spoke up and said, "Fuck everything else going on. He wants to know about reparations," right? Like reparations now. And reparations is something that's been discussed many, many times over the years, you know, as it was written up in a government document, you know, that it was supposed to happen, but it never did, right? And comment with your thoughts. You know, do you think reparations should happen? Do you think they will happen on a national level? As stay tuned, I got something else I'd like to share with everyone at the end of this video, as there is like a big update in reparations going on in just a certain part of the country. We'll get to that in a moment, but just like on a national level, do you think that anything will ever happen? You know, I remember a couple years ago, after the death of George Floyd, reparations were being spoke about a lot. Like big companies and all kinds of people were speaking about it, you know, after that horrible, tragic event that the world saw. Like that was a topic coming up a lot. It ultimately kind of seemed to fizzle out of mainstream news and things like that. But I remember DJ Vlad TV, however you want to refer to him, you know, he, as you'll see in this video, spoke out and said he supported reparations in the form of a free college education. And not that a free college education isn't a thing of value and hold value, but I don't know. I personally would say I don't believe that would be enough, right? Like, let me know if you agree or not. Not that a college education free is not valuable, but I mean, there's already ways to obtain a free college education. And I don't know, it was like a controversial thing or a heavily debated thing that Vlad said, but but something that this individual spoke about here in this clip that I shared in the beginning. He didn't directly say it, but I kind of took it from what he was saying. I could be wrong. You let me know if you got this from his statement and what he said as well. Is you know, he was kind of referencing generational wealth, you know, and how, you know, what one generation can leave to their kids, the next generation of their family, you know, is huge. It's, you know, can give the next generation a foundation to start building their life on. And, you know, I don't know, I just felt like he was referencing that in that speech there. Again, let me know if you caught that and felt that as well. But you know, with all this going on, me seeing this on the timeline and just kind of delving into this topic and all that, like I said, we're going to get to this other update here. I have remembered hearing about this just a couple months ago. I wasn't sure exactly where it was in California, but there were some major news stories about a city or a certain part of California, you know, leaders within government and stuff like that getting together and speaking about reparations and trying to find a way to put something into play. And with that, I look back into this, and this is a thing being talked about a lot right now. There is the beginning of what seems to be some kind of program to get this happening, to get something underway. So let's check this clip out.
This morning, California's Reparations Task Force, the first of its kind in the nation, has voted to send recommendations for reparations to state lawmakers, saying it hopes to right the wrongs of slavery as well as land, housing, and health discrimination.
My great-grandfather was a sharecropper who had 17 children and worked from sunup to sundown and died with absolutely nothing.
The task force is recommending payments of up to $1.2 million for any African American over 70 that can trace their ancestry to enslaved people, compensating them for what it describes as harm to their health, mass incarceration, over-policing, and housing discrimination.
Land was stolen from many, as in my husband's case. My husband has the deeds to these properties. That's state. This land belongs to my descendants forever and ever.
Several descendants told their stories in a public forum. Task Force member Jovan Scott Lewis insists reparations are not payouts.
We are returning monies taken, returning monies stolen, returning, the monies that have been lost based upon the kinds of dispossession and disenfranchisement.
But the task force's work faces two major hurdles. First, no mention of how to pay for the estimated $800 billion price tag, which is more than twice California's annual budget, and the recommendations are non-binding, meaning state lawmakers still have to approve the idea. An uphill battle. The task force will issue a final report to state lawmakers this summer. An interim report also called for a public apology from the state to African American descendants of slaves and others who were discriminated against and disenfranchised.
All right, so you guys hear that clip there. Share your thoughts on that as well. Very interesting. He said, this isn't payouts. This is money being returned, money that was stolen, things that were taken unfairly from individuals. And some of the different citizens you heard speaking in there were talking about, people losing their assets, homes and stuff like that, and have the deeds, and things were just taken from them, and going back to the whole generational wealth thing that I was just speaking about, that's like, what can you leave your next generation? Money, assets, property, things like that. Just kind of plays into what I was speaking on with that. But is this program going to for sure happen? And like I said, this is only in one part of the country. Will this ever happen on a national level? What's your thoughts? But with this program, is this set in stone? Is this going to indeed happen? A lot of times when certain things, and not even just speaking to this topic, just in general, certain things where, hey, if you can prove this and you have documentation of that, you can get this, right? It can be tricky, and people can be given a hard time. Oh, this isn't enough proof of this or that, so I'm just throwing that out there, just curious to know what everyone thinks. But this is pretty big news, but will individuals be indeed receive their returns, as that one gentleman once again referenced it? It's not payouts, it's returns, he says. Will that happen? Is this program going to happen? Will something happen on a national level? I'm just curious to hear everyone's thoughts. That's how we do it over here on this channel. We just talk it up on topics. And I just saw this video, the first video I shared on the timeline, and I was like, let's talk about it, So hit the comments, guys. What's your thoughts across the board? As always, like I always say, I kind of have a saying on this channel: if necessary, let's agree to disagree. As certain topics, things can get chippy and heated in the comment section, and it is the internet. It is the blogosphere, where some people just like to go around and troll motherfuckers and be controversial and all that, But there you have it, man. Reparations program being put into place over in California. A man in Florida, Tampa, speaks out, says he wants to, know specifically about reparations. What's everyone's thoughts? Let's talk about it. Thank you for tuning in. Again, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace, guys.